Yeah. Let's get some fun in here. Let's see if that works. Yeah, man. Welcome to URF Tone Tuesday. Halfway doing it like we normally do. I'm reporting live from the guest room studio. I got my partner, as always, that I'm blessed to have. I'm honored to have joining live from the streets of Las Vegas, the world famous NIC. NIC, what's the word? Out there in the hot desert of Las Vegas.
Yeah, man. Like always, man, it's the world famous NIC. Sounds good when you spell it, even better when the crowds yell it. We love it, man. We had, I saw you out. I saw you out this last weekend, man. At the
We'll
real
get
one.
into the recap. No doubt about
Yeah,
it. We're gonna get into the recap. Yes.
But yeah, I'm out here in Vegas, man. It was cool. I was at Dre's. We saw Fabulous. We saw Jeezy.
Yeah.
It was
Wow.
cool. It was good performance, man.
Shout out Vegas Vince, man.
Yeah, shout out my guy Vegas Vince, man. He took care of us.
See, can't be said enough because that guy, you got to pardon this. Whatever's in my hand was left over by my sister-in-law from a recent visit. It's what I got in the fridge. I'm doing my household a service by clearing the fridge. So Vegas Vince, that little bit, of course, he got the access to Dre's. Anybody who follows him knows what it is. And at the same time, he's the dude. You catch him in most of our videos. And if it's not only him, but you don't know that he's also our access to a lot of sort of talent that gets put on display in the videos. And that man comes through in the clutch like Robert Horry, like every time. Like and he doesn't bat an eye. I mean, his spirit is like so uniquely his own. He's the kind of dude that'll just stop everything and push out from Vegas. His roots are out this way, in the Southern California area, but he'll just and he lives in Vegas now. So every time he come out for a video, in my head, like we wrap up, it might be late at night, it might be whatever it is after a long day, and he's hands on and he's doing the PA thing. He's hey, what you got going on, man? You gonna lay your head down here somewhere? He's like, nah, man, I got work. I gotta go back. He's the kind of guy that's gonna look out. So while we on the public platform, and we always express our real gratitude for him, because in person and in private, but people should know that's a different kind of spirit.
Man, if anybody out there has ever done a turnaround trip to Vegas, meaning going there, not getting no sleep and turning right back around and coming back from Cali, they know that is not for the weak of heart. You got to be a OG, a triple OG rider to do that trip. And anybody who would do it for URF Tone, just shows
multiple times.
Yeah, multiple times. Like we
didn't even use the big favor or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you know what I mean? Like that would be enough. Just the turnaround trip, to ask somebody to do the turnaround trip would be enough. But he'll do that, and he'll provide services, and he'll provide, talent, and he'll cheerlead the video. He'll sweep up at the end of the night. He'll he's the man, the 6th man of the year, MVP. He wins all the awards, man, for sure.
If he was in a peace mood, yes, you have. But we feel your presence with us. We never take that for granted, but we feel your absence too, and that's not to press you. Thank you for joining like you always do, man.
Yes,
it means a lot. It means a lot. Yeah, unique spirit. We got and while we're shouting out people who just down, and you know what I'm saying, kind of got that unwavering staple support. Paul, that definitely means you as well, man. We appreciate you. So real quick, I'm gonna say this. Dora in the house. I actually met Dora yesterday.
Oh, that's what's up.
You back in Cali 100%. Oh, definitely. Let's get up, man. Let's definitely get up. And what part of town you in? I want to put the real ones love. We're gonna recap that in a second. And help me with your pronunciation. Put it in the phonetics. Oh, that's right. You can't see what's going on. I forgot
Nah.
that. Yeah. Is that Edge 21? Help me out. But yeah, real ones in a real way. So I got to like doing a little bit of admin work this weekend, and organize the NIC hit the road. I wanted to take it real easy. There it is. Okay, Huntington Beach. So Snapback Saturdays is going down in Fullerton, and I know that's not exactly down the street, but it's good enough, I think. So I'll be out of town this weekend, but if you are about that, Paul, let's make that happen. Of course, NIC and I will organize, and we wanna show love. But EJE, got you. All right. Yeah, organize. So NIC hits the road. He's doing his thing with his wife, chilling. You know, and I mentioned a lot. My wife, who's a performer, is on the road a lot. I opted for a mellow weekend. And with that, I opted to put some like organize some things. So we're not displayed as of right now. We're not represented on proper DJ record pools. DJ City and NIC, you could shout them out better than I can. Help me out.
Yeah, BPM Supreme. What is it? Direct Music Services, DMS. Yeah, this my MP3 pool. There's a bunch of them out there. So
yeah, there you go. So,
but those are the big ones.
Ice Pack in the house for sure.
What up?
Yeah. So I put our own little record pool together because I'm chilling, and the support has actually been overwhelming. You know, in full candor, some people I'm like, I know you. Let me put us on your radar. I try not to. I want to make it clear because like the way things come off in a text or like a DM or whatever. Like I want to vocalize. Like it's really not to press you ever. Like that's not Earth Tone style. That's not what me and I see. We don't want to be like in your face and at the same time like if the mouth's closed, it doesn't get fed. So and we want to make sure that we are acknowledging that you're on our radar as well. So if like you're the DJ, you were the man or the woman on the decks, and we feel like we got synergy, what you do, what we do. We want to make sure we're just floating it out there. Hey, if you're good with it, let's add you to our record pool until the other record pools look out. The last word I got was from the homie Jaybird. What the flock? The homie Jaybird. The message was a little bit vague, but he said, he's like, I'm gonna put you on the strip rotation. I was like, and I asked him back and said this at the strip club because I know he holds it down. So I said at the strip club. In my head, I'm like, yo, if that happens, that's incredible because I know I mean, there's a lot of life. There's a lot of obviously connection to the music with the energy and the activity in the strip club. So like this shit's incredible to me. And at the same time, I was like, I can't imagine it. Like I don't think NIC, I don't think we ever imagined it like that. But I would tell you what, we're not strip club guys, but like if I'm at the strip club and somebody's getting down to boom bap, she probably gonna get my money for the lap dance.
Yo, I second that. I'm not a strip
like
club
doing
guy,
like the b-boy stuff.
I could only imagine what that strip show would look like. You know, to some real step into a world type stuff. Like, can you imagine that?
I'm waiting to see what Jaybird comes back with. I haven't checked the whispers in Twitch since that message had been exchanged. So I asked, I'm like, did you strip rotation? Does that mean the strip club? I need to know. And I'm gonna try something out. Sorry, I'm a scatterbrain. I'm always a scatterbrain. I'm gonna try this out. Let me know if this works or if the audio is a little bit reckless. But I knew NI, you were on the road. Obviously, you're gonna be like removed from your
What's up? This is Taj Day of the Mighty.
I'll run that down a little bit. Just like trying to make vibey conversational volume. Is that what's happening with the audio right now?
It's low in the back. It's light.
It's clean though.
Yeah, for the most part.
All right, I'm gonna run this down a little bit so I can hear you better. Let us know in the comments too. I I'm like scrambling today, and it occurred to me about 5:35. I'm like, yo, let me just put something together on a conversation to join. Dope. So we got the record pool, and that is also to say while we're doing it with our platform. If you're a DJ and you're like, yo, I want to get that earth tone in the rotation, please do not hesitate to reach out. I cannot stress enough the way like our conversations are like our closed door conversations and now open door conversations are so DJ minded. Like this NIC being making up 50% of what we are. It's like it's all by design. Like we celebrate the art. You know what I'm saying? We celebrate the art, and we still and DJ probably is going to increasingly get diminished in value unless somebody stands up for it. And obviously, if I'm speaking in a room of DJs, either that's going to resonate, or you might be like, "What are you even talking about?" But my feeling is it's an undervalued, underappreciated art form. Obviously, with unless you're doing this, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. All right. I stay forgetting that and don't see the comments unless I fling them on the board. 2 points on the board. All right. So yeah, let us know if you and Paul, this goes to you too, obviously. But if it's like the record pool, we're doing our best. We don't have 100%, but we're close to it. If everything we release includes instrumentals, acapellas for remix considerations, videos if you're doing a video mix. So just holler at us, man. We want to make sure that that we're coming correct and arming you all to put a good show on. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we're coming from. All right, moving on. Let's get the Vegas report. I know it's family friendly, NIC, but what's going on in them streets?
Man, I'm coming live from the Tesla right now, man. I'm in the car. I'm at the mall. Yo, when we come out here, my wife, she gonna tear down the mall already. You already know that. She about to buy some. So I'm just sitting here, man. She knew I had to jump on this, so she was like, "Go ahead." I knew she was gonna be all right, so it's not a problem. She got the card, so she's good. But funny, I'm just gonna piggyback off of what you said as far as like respecting the DJ. So while I'm out here, I had a residency out here. I was at Gallery for a while. I was at Caesar's Palace for a while. I've done, numerous clubs out in Vegas. And so while I'm out here, my man Vegas Vince gets a call from somebody, and they like, "Yo, we need a DJ for a corporate event in December." So, of course, Vince is like, "Yo, you available now?" I'm like, "Yo, I got to check my schedule. What's the bread looking like?" So this event planner is on the phone. He got her on speaker, right? She like, "Yo, I got a band playing." So the event is from 6 to 12. She's like, "I got a band playing. I'm paying them like $1,500 to $2,000. I got a trapeze artist. I got to pay her like $1,200, right?" And she's like, I'm looking for a DJ from 6 to 12. And like, "What's the pay?" "Man, I could give them like $300 to $500 in Vegas for a holiday corporate event." I'm like, man, y'all crazy. This is how little the DJ is respected. You gonna pay a trapeze artist and a band, damn near $3,000, $4,000, and you want to pay a DJ $300 to $500. So that's what she allotted for her budget for a DJ. I was like, good luck, man. But it's just people think as a DJ, you just show up, you play music, and you go home. And if they give you free drink tickets or they feed you, that's your compensation. Like, "Oh man, we're gonna give you a free meal. All you really got to do is sit around and play music."
I'm a quote the homie Nat Star. Yeah, you got the homie Dara bugging. She with you. The circus act gets the love.
Trapeze. Yeah, exactly. Right.
I gotta shout out the homie and share his quote. The homie Nat Star in a recent visit to his lab, doing some creative work and stuff with them. He said, audio or hearing is the stepchild of the senses.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought it was brilliant, man. We value sight, we value taste and smell and feel. Seems like way more, right? And that's why the notion of like, the video killing the radio star and that kind of thing can even probably exist, right? Like that's actually why we go so as hard as we do in our visuals, because we understand you're not gonna probably hear us, so we need to paint it for you in a visual way, in an aesthetic way, for you to kind of understand, like, we're gonna prescribe to you, this is how you're supposed to enjoy this thing. You know what I mean? And kind of let you, after we show that bit of our imagination, let you kind of run with it and using your imagination. So yeah, man. And that's just another reflection of listening or hearing, being treated like the stepchild of the five senses. It is a shame. It's actually a great segue. To kind of go into this weekend recap. I don't know if EJ is still with us, but shout it out the real ones. Have you seen? So I'm gonna take a step back too. So much of my exposure to the world and the culture of DJs, not like appreciation, but I would say the baseline of appreciation is 100% there. But understanding locally the sort of the culture, the heartbeat of it, NIC has been, the ambassador for me, and so I feel like I'm just getting thrusted into this like incredible experience, honestly. And I'm seeing things that really move me to the core in a way that like that's what art's supposed to do. You know what I mean? And it's really cool. And seeing legendary cats from the Beat Junkies, who are obviously a staple in LA hip hop and beyond LA, worldwide, right? I saw Melody for the first time at Real Ones. I seen his clips and stuff online. And those are incredible. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are incredible. They do him justice, and at the same time they don't. So follow, support, check him out, like, and all that stuff, but don't stop there. You got to engage with the live experience. I assume you've seen him before. And
who, me?
Yeah, a million times.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. I mean, listen, he might be offended by this, but man, if you're not stealing from Melody, if you haven't stole something from Melody as a DJ, if you haven't stole something from, like, there's certain DJs that you just got to be completely transparent about. Like, yeah, I got, like Jazzy Jeff. Everybody has stole something from him. Like, there's certain people that it's like, if you haven't stole from them, you're not doing your DJ homework enough. You gotta know these people exist and know how brilliant they are. So yeah, yes, of course.
I can't help but like wonder if he's ever lost in a battle and what the time stamp on that would be. It'd probably be like 1984 or something crazy.
Yeah, probably. We got to go way back for that.
I mean, it's ridiculous to the point. So you know how it is at Real Ones is intimate, right? Like you could mix it up with everybody, which is almost like dumb. You shouldn't, like, just the way my mind is constructed, I'm conditioned in this city, is like you shouldn't have this kind of access to this level of talent, right? But you just you're mixing it up, you're going shoulder to shoulder with like real ones. You know what I'm saying? The realest ones. So and I'm gonna throw this one on the board too. And you know, sometimes when you get into these intimate sort of venues, people become a little bit shy. Like versus a festival, everybody gonna smush up against the stage. Like you almost don't have a choice, you know, because it's crowded and you get lost in the sea of being anonymous in among, you know, just a mass group of people. Um, but in the case of like real ones, it's intimate, and you know, a lot of times in those intimate settings, people are a little bit bashful to you know, to just kind of get close to the performance. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I don't know if this is gonna come my way again or when it will come my way again. So I made no bones about it. I'm here for the spectacle. So I'm like peering my way through people very simply, and I just kind of walk up and I'm just watching this man operate. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to the to the point where I'm like, I go back. So Smooth D's kind of chilling in the back. Shout out Smooth D. He's kind of chilling in the back, and I'm like losing it, and I need to like verbalize it to somebody, right? So I walk back to the back. Smooth D's, you know, he got his little, you know what I'm saying? Smooth D is a funny dude, man, because he's like the nicest, most gentlemanly dude, but he always got some ladies. So he got some ladies with him. He's in the sea of ladies, and I get his ear. I'm like, yo, this dude's like a street hustler playing 3-card Monte out there. And you understand that you're nodding. You're like, you understand. I'm saying that symbolically. Melody is so crazy that Smooth D thought I was serious. He thought I was being literal. He's like, wait, what? I'm like, and it took me a second to understand what he's saying. I'm like, no. I mean, his hands are just moving so quick. He's like one of them dudes who's just playing the, you know, the 3-card Monte or which you know, gets the cup that holds the ball or whatever. But it's like, this dude looked like he's inventing new technology. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, like, what's actually happening in front of me right now? It's blowing my mind. And I know when that hand goes up, when Melody's, I feel like it's his left. When it goes up, man, he about to just go into something crazy. And yeah, like, you know, I feel like there was moments. So obviously he does what he does. And then when the right song, when he cut the song on that I like, you know, moves my spirit, the combination of him doing what he does and the right song, it created a like an inhibition free version of me. And I wish I could perpetually be inhibition free, you know, but when I'm among people, I'm thinking sometimes I feel tight, sometimes I feel a little bit like reserved or bashful or whatever, but like that intersection of him doing what he does and then playing. So when he played that, he actually started his set, so it was right out the gate. But he, like, you know, played that Freeway, Hove, even though what we do it. I'm like, you know, I just got lost in it, man. I got lost in it, and some of the real ones, regulars, like, you know, Diva came my way. You know, Margulis came out because they are about that dancing. So I'm like doing my thing, and they're kind of rocking with me. And normally that's when I get like tight. I'm like, oh yeah, but I wasn't. It felt that's like that freeing moment. It's feels great, man. And I used to, of course, like as a young man, I used to long for that attention. Let me get in the middle, you know. But like, I don't know what happens with time. So it's nice for anything to be able to trigger that feeling, you know, where it's like loose. It's like you and the music, and then whoever's with you on the music, like they're family. You know what I mean? They're family. So yeah. Facts. Yes, Dora. Really an incredible thing. What's my man's name? I'm a butcher it. I think it was like high as Danny. We caught up here in the comments in some of the Twitch streams since he did his thing. He started his set. There it is. Thank you, Dora. Yeah. High as Danny. Cat from I think he's out of Phoenix. Like his set was dope. His set was real dope. And like he was playing what DJ Severe would call the bops. You know, they had like a little bit of that R&B rhythm to them, but it felt real good. And then and then your sister NIC, K Slide, man, you know, she's revered for a reason. She is such a these DJs, they need like y'all need a movie. Y'all need everybody's character, like when you're not your superhero self. You know what I'm saying? Like NIC, let me be clear, it's my favorite DJ. This is how we paired up like this. Like I have been blessed, and it doesn't get lost on me. So when I go check his set out, I get to fan out the same way. But all of y'all are so funny, and you always talk about the quirky personalities of you and your contemporaries. You know what I'm saying? K Slide's just like, she's never been anything shy of just like a very sweet soul. We had her on URF Tone Tuesday before. You know, she took the conversation to places that I would never have guessed going into the conversation. It was emotional, it was vulnerable, it was deep. You know, so I'm like knowing this person. Of course, I know K Slide. I listened to K Slide on the radio, once upon a time. You know what I'm saying? So like that's not lost on me either. But it is with great shame and great pleasure at the same time that I say it was my first time like getting to experience that live. And man, she is ill.
So it's funny because I called. I was real apologetic because I knew I was going to be in Vegas. You know what I mean? So I was like, hey Kay, I'm not going to be able to come out and support you. And of course, I want to see Melody. I want to see all the family there. You know what I mean? So I was like, I called her up. I'm like, yo, Kay Sly, I'm not going to be able to make it. And she's like, she was like, they got me on the date and Melody is there. And, I'm like, I'm not like a battle DJ. And I told her, hey, listen, sometimes we as DJs get caught up on the tool that we don't have that the other DJs do have. You know what I mean? But I'm always like, man, just do what you do well, because K-Sly is a solid DJ. She's a great DJ, man. She's a great, I'm nowhere at the level where Melody is at. I make no bones about that. But I have been blessed throughout the course of my DJ career to be able to teach other DJs, like Be Selected, Mike Smooth. I got some DJs that I've taught and handed down what I do know to them. And I always put a triangle on a piece of paper, and I'm like, at the top of the triangle is song selection. That's your number one. That's your superpower right there. That's the best thing you can do, is be a music selector, a great music selector, which means you got to do your homework through all the genres and ages of music. You got to know music from the 60s, from the 70s, from the 80s, from the 90s, and so forth, because that's going to make you be able to walk into any arena and look at the crowd and be able to pick a song or select a song from their era. Then at the other two corners, you got like mixing, blending, you got tricks and all of these things. And very rarely do you find DJs that can do all of them well. Melody is one of those cats that can do all of them well. You know what I mean? That's why he's such a revered and renowned DJ. Icy Ice can do all of them well. There's a Jazzy Jeff can do all of them well. And so, I said, Kay, just do you. She's like, well, I do a lot of EDM. I do a lot of not even she didn't say EDM. She said, I do a lot of house. Yeah, I do a lot of house. I'm like, just go in there and do house. And the thing I love about Real Ones is it allows DJs to just be DJs. Like, you don't have to go in there and be like, yo, I got to play Drake. I got to play Rick Ross. I got to play. As a matter of fact, the DJs that attend Real Ones are probably going to respect you more if you don't play that kind of stuff. Like, it's cool if you do, but it's like, we want to be impressed too. And we're like, oh, wow, okay, she playing house. That's dope. So I was like, man, just go in there and do you. And it was just real dope that, she was like, all right, cool. I don't even know what her set ended up sounding like, but I'm happy if she actually just relaxed and did herself and not try and compete with like any of the other DJs on the bill.
I think what happens, and that's all very well said, I think what happens is you actually feel, I mean, I 100% can connect and relate to all those concerns and some of the things that may have inhibited her going in. But I feel like once you actually in the environment of real ones, there's something freeing about it.
Yes.
That just kind of let her do her. You know, I mean, you and I talked about, so when we did our thing, you know, with the family out there, like the way the hands went up when I was calling for it as your MC, you know, it's like the crowd participation was like, I mean, it's really just unique because we've done a lot of shows. We've turned around Vegas, just like you talked about earlier. We turned around Vegas in the night. We've done a lot of shows, and we orchestrate these things in the, you know, in the rehearsal. It's like, yo, when the song do like this, we're gonna call for hands. We're gonna call for the bounce. You know, we're gonna do like, and it's like, I don't think we expected anybody to participate, but it felt right to the music, and we're doing it that way. Everyone's they actually participate. It's a very unique, like supportive environment. So I think she probably was, you know, feeling that and kind of just let it guide her. You know what I mean? And she was really she was fantastic. Sadly, I did the, you know, the LA thing, and I put up this is how ridiculous this is. The guys who host the event, Ice and Promote had gone on. They were out. I think I got there at 4. It starts at 3. I got there 1 hour late. I'm not that LA, not that crazy. But they were already done. And I pull up, say what's up. I see Heidi Ice in the spot. You know, Icy Ice's wife. She said, "Oh yeah, you got spun already twice." I'm like, what? Dang. So shout out them, of course. You know, showing the love and repping for us two dudes. You know, but that's much appreciated. So it go from Sly. I forgot. Curse, who's always a spectacle. You know what I mean? That dude's like a rhythmic Tasmanian devil.
Yeah.
You know, he's on time. He's not out of control, but I mean, it's just, you know, he got the fast hand. He's you know, Omar Epps and Juice.
Yeah.
He got the crazy fast hands. Yeah, and then Melody, you know, did that. And then of course, fast forward to the post game, the homegirl Diva gets on, and you know, she like soon as I got to the spot, we say what's up. I was like, did you go yet? I didn't know. She's like, no, I'm at the after party. You coming? I said, yeah. I said, if you're doing it, I'll be there. Of course, you know, she threw on some of the joints, and I didn't realize what she was doing the first time. She put on Feel Is Real, and she's like, you know, I mean, again, it's an intimate spot. She's like, Ela. And I was like, and I was in a conversation. I'm like, yeah, salute. You know what I mean? I wasn't trying to like blow it off. I didn't realize she was like, come get this mic, you know? And then she cut energy on a little bit later. She's like, Ela, she like made it real demonstrative, put the mic out. I'm like, all right, let's do this thing. So, and then shout out Liana, one of the, you know, Real Ones fam, you know, one of the event team and all that. She caught it. She put it on the thing on the gram. So, all a great look. Prop had his cold brew coffee newly launched. I had to show a love because Prop been every bit of gracious to us, and you know what I'm saying. And it's actually I'm a coffee guy. I'm a hip hop guy, so this is perfect. It's a perfect combination of things. Ill weekend. I cannot wait. They already confirmed the next Real Ones is September 4th. Like, I'm counting days now. That's where it's at. So hopefully, you're not conflicted with the gig or obligation, and we can show up in full force, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, sir. I got one last thing. I know you kind of tight on time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me, since I put the list together, so I might as well just throw the audio back in there. All right. I'm frustrated. Because this is something that I'm constantly kind of just like existentially looking at with the space that we're in. Social media, the constant noise. I think the thing that was beautiful and cool about like the Source magazine growing up, Double XL and the like, these magazine rap pages, whatever, like the amount of work that went into it, tracking down the story, getting it past the editor, making sure it was tight. You're only getting so much. So the amount of like love that's poured into all of that was necessary. I just imagine these things were like processed more thoroughly. Now anything that happens gets captured. So, and I'm gonna make you the editor of of a hip hop magazine.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I call this one News or Nonsense. Just some things I just like. I'm just living my life, thumbing through the thing, and I'm like, is this necessary? Like, I understand the algorithm is like, yo, put up as much content as possible. But some things are like, yeah, that feels good. But let's get your post on it.
Now let me ask you, are you gonna answer too?
Yeah, I'll weigh in. But you already know what it is. This is
Okay.
Listen. Maybe some of them are on the line, but let's start here.
Right.
At the Super Pets presser, and I won't shout out who did this because all of these news outlets, they all circulate the same stuff, The Super Pets presser, The Rock says he wouldn't want to be Megan Thee Stallion's pet. And then on the poster said, "What you think about this?" Is that should we know about this? Now I saw the clip and he's like laughing. It's all light.
I think that's nonsense.
It's nonsense. Like, why do we gotta know that?
Yeah.
I don't know. All right. Next up, Drake reacts to his dad's tattoo of him. Drake's father got Drake tattooed. It's not a great tattoo, which is wild, but and Drake, tweeted or something about it. Is this news or is it nonsense?
I mean, it's.
I like how you're reacting while you're mulling over your thought, because I'm like, actually, I'm curious. Do people?
This is.
Yeah.
Go ahead. This would be
curious because I'm like, where are we at right now? What are we?
Yeah. This is
probably like elevating right now.
Right. I feel like sometimes stuff can be news for your circle. You know what I mean? But it shouldn't be news for everybody. This is something that, listen, if my dad got a tattoo of me on him, I would probably tell you. You know what I mean? Like that would be news for you. You probably would, that you would probably appreciate that information. Maybe we would laugh about it, maybe whatever. But that's something that we keep in the circle of Earthlings. Maybe I would even say it on URF Tone Tuesdays. But when you get these major outlets just putting that up, I think it becomes overall nonsense for the masses.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think, you touched on something important here. Like, as I know you do too, and Questlove Supreme is one of my very favorite podcasts to listen to. And one of the things I like, it's a recurring theme. It's something I extract, especially as he has like hip hop guests on, because, his guests will be eclectic enough. They're not all hip hop, but the hip hop ones he'll talk about, especially the ones with long-standing track records and illustrious, legacies. It'd be like, I remember when you came up in the Source, you were in the unsigned hype. I remember your mic rating, when your first project dropped. It just felt special, And now we're at this place where it's like so much happening all the time, and the ideology is like, yo, let's get this pumped out, as much posts as we can do. I'm sure, because everybody is running it. I'm not sure who broke it. I don't know how old I am, like how old the news is, if it's 2 days or it's just like 30 seconds. When I come across it, sometimes I go days without looking and whatever. So anyway, next news and nonsense headline. Kendrick Lamar's Big Steppers tour is more than just a rap show.
That's the headline?
Mm-hmm. I literally was seeing the thing on. Go ahead.
I'll say it's news.
I agree. We're giving a
Yes.
tour review. You're doing something that's like valuable to somebody who's considering spending their hard-earned money and may be on the fence of, well, should I cop this ticket or not? You know,
Yes.
and giving a review of performance to me, and you weighing in on the art, to me, that's definitely news.
Yeah. I'll say that's news.
Yeah. For what it's worth, I'm not trying to be. I wasn't even filtering like this. This little thought. I just wrote some of these because I was like going through my phone. This was yesterday, and I'm like, it was like in 2 thumb swipes. I'm like, yo, what is that? What is all this information coming at me right now? Like this stuff feels crazy.
Right.
Or some of it feels good, you know, but it's like let's draw a line somewhere. All right, next news and nonsense. Oh, this one's right on time with the track in the background. Nas almost appeared on Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt track, Can I Live?
That's news. I want to hear about that.
I'd love to hear about that. Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's a compelling story, and I might click and, you know, because that sounds like that's like that podcast richness. You know what I mean? You get a
But
good story out of it or whatever.
But you know what frustrates me, because you started out the segment like you're frustrated. What frustrates me is when you see a heading like that,
Oh yeah.
and then you go and you read the actual article or the story, and it don't have nothing to do with that, or it's like so, you know, off the topic. You like, man, what was this? Why would you even title this that? That drives me crazy.
Yeah, clickbait.
Yeah, I hate that.
I hate that too. Big time. People that should be penalized. In fact, if we're gonna do this, we should hold these publications to a standard, and the standard should not be volume based. The standard should not be one that's like, yo, can you pump out 17 articles in a 24-hour period? It should be like, how are you marketing or you know what I mean? How are you driving to your article, and how honest are you being in that promotion? Like, you know, and you know what, you know, given this Earth Tone Tuesday and how we get down, like, just to be honest and everything, like, NIC and I, we're giving some considerations to some PR stuff, you know, and in so doing, you have conversations with agencies, you know, and the way that they market, it's like, yo, we gonna get you on. I don't want to throw nobody, you know, I don't want to say no names, but a lot of these platforms that pride themselves on the salacious, gossip-driven news, we're self-aware enough to know we cannot compete with that. You got a picture of, you know, Doja Cat without her eyebrows, and then Meg Thee Stallion, you know, busting out a thing, and Kanye sending death threats to or whatever, you know, trolling Pete Davidson. Nobody's gonna click on the little known obscure act called Earth Tone. We realize that. So where can we go where people have an appetite for something that's more like intellectually stimulating as it relates to this art, you know? So, you know, I think that's probably I didn't realize it, but I think that's kind of like the underlying, you know what I mean, the foundation of what maybe triggered, like, what is all it, like, what are we coming across? You know what I mean? Like, I got a few more. All right.
Yeah.
Next up, LL Cool J honored with Key to the City in Queens at the first Rock the Bells Fest.
Man, for somebody like us, for Earth Tone, that's major news. That's like that's like we interrupt this broadcast right now to bring you this. That's top of the you know, headline news right there. Yeah, for sure.
I agree wholeheartedly. I do think the man on this track playing in the background is next for that city, for Queens, or that borough, I should say. Nas, you know, he should get the spare key. If Uncle L gets the key, Nas gets the spare key. Not to, you know what? Actually, they should go to one of them spots that pump out a lot of spare keys, because they got. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, man. This might be crazy. Queens might be the hardest borough or whatever section on the map in all of hip hop.
Yeah, Brooklyn would have something to say. Harlem would have something to say. You know, but
Brooklyn is top heavy. That's my feeling.
Yeah.
Brooklyn's heavy hitters are Brownsville Mike Tyson. They hit heavy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
yeah,
but Queens is deep. And
man.
if the NBA is any indication of how the Big Three thing, you know, you gotta have the depth, man. You gotta have the depth.
Yes.
Queens
Yes.
is crazy, man. Run DMC. You know,
Yo,
talk about Uncle L, Tribe Called Quest, Nas, Mobb Deep,
Mobb Deep, 50 Cent. I mean, yo, Nicki, like, yo, you could go mainstream or you could go underground, and you're gonna have heavy hitters. Yes.
And then you know who I think is competing with Brooklyn for 2? Long Island.
Well, you already know I'm probably gonna lean towards that anyway.
Over Brooklyn?
Yeah, probably.
I would not automatically assume it, but I remember having a conversation with somebody fairly recently. He moved out from Long Island. I said, that might be that's in the conversation for the best section on the map. I don't know how boroughs work, if they're their own city or they just call them boroughs, but you know, like obviously Compton is very decorated, you know, and then these boroughs in New York, they break it up how they do. Atlanta, of course, and so on. But like Long Island with
you got PE, Rakim, and Wu-Tang Clan. I mean, that right there.
Hello.
It's like
strong.
Yeah.
I feel like Busta Rhymes may represent more than one.
I wouldn't know because I've never heard him speak on that, but yeah.
Well, we all know he went to high school with Jay and Biggie. Like that's like well publicized or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I didn't realize the ads were gonna come down. Apologies. We should be getting paid for whatever ads in the background. Anyway, I feel like Busta got some roots in Long Island. Anyway, Long Island is in the combo. All right. Next up on News or Nonsense. This one, I really do feel like this one is tricky. This one be tricky. I hope it is. Iggy Azalea says she's making music again.
Did she stop?
You know what? That's a good question. It's a good question. I don't have that context to say like she made some announcement or something.
I mean, listen, I will say that's news only because if you're an Iggy Azalea fan, then that's something that you want to know. Like,
Yes.
I don't feel like, and you can differ with me on this because I think we're in agreement with the majority of this. But I feel like, you know, just because it's not news to me, or just because I'm not interested in it, doesn't mean that.
Hey, get your boy.
Well, I mean, if that's your criteria for wanting to know about what she's doing in the studio, then, you know, again, and like I said, just because it's not news to me or just because it's not interested in me doesn't mean that it's not news.
Agreed.
You know, so I would say that is news. That's not, I don't feel like that's salacious. I don't feel like that's just trying to, you know, kind of, it's not a clickbait. It's like if I'm an Iggy Azalea or, you know, fan, I'm concerned about that. I'm like, oh, dope. She's back in the studio. Good. I can look forward to a project from her.
Yes.
So I'll say it's news.
I say it's news as well. I think that's an important piece of information beyond, you know, it's interesting because it kind of like juxtaposes to me Drake reacts to his dad's tattoo, because you take the artist, right? This is an artist who's like legitimate news around this artist is interesting. right?
Mm-hmm.
Versus Iggy doesn't appeal to us. But the what comes after the name determines the news or not, right? And then Iggy Azalea, you can't doubt, you can't question. She has been elevated to a certain status. We're familiar with her. We know, unfortunately, who she dated. We know, obviously she was down with T.I. I mean, not the dating, but the where she was signed. We know her music. So yeah, I mean, the making music carries more weight to me than a tattoo. So I'm with you.
Yeah, yeah. So
Then my last one. Fetty Wap arrested after threatening to kill someone.
I mean, unfortunately, that is news. Um, it's news that we find all too common with a lot of these rappers getting shot, killed, uh, you know, finding themselves in the wrong place at the wrong time. It is news though.
I agree, and well said. Nothing further to add, Your Honor.
Yeah.
That was well said. I got one last thing, then I'm gonna let you get back to your wife and family.
All right.
Today is a let me cool out real quick. This on the I just because we always talk about and particularly you always talk about music being attached to a memory. And I had that moment today. So I thought it was just worth sharing just because it's a recurring theme here, right? So I'm vibing out along with the other mass group of people to the homie Icy Ice's Twitch earlier today, and he throws on in a rotation Buddy by Music Soul Child.
Okay.
And like immediately it triggered something for me, right? It was just a moment. And I remember the very like instance that it was presented to me. I remember, and this is, it's a bold thing when you play, like when you're young, you do it a lot, but you realize how often maybe it may fall flat. So as you get older, you do this less. This was a young thing that happened. But somebody played like, oh, you haven't heard this yet? Because especially at the time, I was a real big Music Soul Child fan. I think that came on his third album, Soul Star. His second album, Just Listen. I'm a huge fan of Just Listen. And so somebody like, you haven't heard this yet? Like, surprise. They're like, oh man, you gotta listen to this, right? And so they put it on and they stare at you. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing you don't do no more. Is when you put the record on and just stare at somebody like, because then that person's probably gonna feel, less likely to react to it. You know what I mean? Like you're interfering with the music process. But that song is Teflon. So I listened to it and I'm like, ooh, you know what I mean? It bangs, and it took me back to that moment. And it was such a fun moment. It's like, what just happened? Let's run that back. Let's run it back a third time. Let's run it back a fourth time, So it went immediately into crazy heavy rotation. It was a music moment. I appreciate that Ice cut that one on in his Twitch today. Yeah, that was a fun one. I felt like it was worth sharing because we talk about the music being attached to a memory all the time.
All the time, man. All the time. And listen, man, we are thankful. As I sign out, I just want to say, like, energy we've really been pushing that, and the YouTube views and the comments and everything, the support for that single has been just tremendous, man. And I'm super appreciative. And now it's a part of my memory. Like every time y'all leave a comment, on the video, it becomes a part of our memory as URF Tone, because that's something that we can look at and we have a connection now to that video that y'all said something, whether it's good or bad, we have a connection when you leave a comment. So we thank you and we appreciate that.
Hey, listen, I spun the music today and NIC came with the bars. So let us never forget. It is always a pleasure on URF Tone Tuesday. Thank y'all sincerely. Tell a friend, hey, let's blow this conversation out. It's really fun to get involved. We're gonna keep building it out. More variety show style, more segments, more
Guests. We got guests coming.
we got guests coming, so stay tuned. We'll make sure we shout that out properly. And thank you. Welcome back home. Peace mood.
Yes, sir.
Let's get up. And my well wishes to the family. Send a love, and we get up soon.
That's what's up, man.
All right, y'all. See you next Tuesday.
Happy URF Tone Tuesday.
Yes, sir.